Chosen one, what God is about to do in your life will leave even your own family in disbelief. They know your past. They've seen your struggles. They've heard your prayers, and some of them doubted every single one. But this time, it won't be your words trying to convince them. It will be your life itself. The change will be undeniable. The blessing will be visible. And the only explanation left will be, God did it. Don't be surprised when they can't understand. Don't be shaken when even those closest to you look at you with disbelief. Because what heaven is about to release is bigger than your history, greater than their expectation, and beyond what anyone thought was possible. This is the season where the promise becomes proof, where what was invisible becomes undeniable, and where your life itself becomes the testimony that God was with you all along. Chosen one, there is a unique kind of pain that comes when those closest to you cannot see what God is doing in your life. Strangers doubting you is one thing, but when it is family, when it is those who watched you grow, who know your history, who witnessed your mistakes and weaknesses, their disbelief cuts deeper. And yet, this is often the very place where God chooses to reveal his greatest works. Even Jesus faced this reality. Scripture tells us that when he returned to his hometown, those who knew him best, his relatives, his neighbors, the ones who had seen him as a child, refused to believe in him. They couldn't reconcile the boy they remembered with the Messiah he had become. And because of their unbelief, many missed the miracles standing right in front of them. The same pattern repeats with the chosen. What God is shaping in you is so unusual, so unprecedented, that those closest to you may not be able to believe until they see it with their own eyes. And this is where your trial becomes holy. You are being asked to carry a promise that even your own household cannot validate. You are being called to believe without agreement, to hold faith without applause, to walk forward without confirmation from those you love. That is not punishment, it is refinement. It forces you to anchor your hope in heaven alone, not in human support. Maybe you've already felt the sting of their words. You're dreaming too big. That will never happen. People like us don't experience things like that. And maybe, deep inside, it hurt you more than you admitted. But here is the truth. Their doubt does not cancel God's decree. Their disbelief does not erase what was written over your life. If anything, it only highlights the magnitude of the miracle that is coming. Because when God moves, the very ones who doubted you will be the ones who testify on your behalf. When the breakthrough manifests, your family will have no choice but to acknowledge it. They may not understand the how. They may not even want to accept the why. But they will not be able to deny the evidence. Your transformation will be too visible, too undeniable, too saturated with divine fingerprints. Think of Joseph. His brothers laughed at his dreams. They despised him, mocked him, and tried to silence him. Yet years later, those same brothers bowed before him in Egypt, recognizing the authority he carried. His life itself became the proof that what God had shown him was true. That is what is about to happen in your story. So don't be discouraged if your family doesn't believe right now. Don't waste energy trying to convince them. You don't have to. God himself will do the convincing. When the miracle breaks through, your life will speak louder than words ever could. You won't need to argue. You won't need to explain. You won't need to prove anything. The evidence will stand on its own. Chosen one, this is why the disbelief of your family is not a curse, but a setup. Because when the fulfillment comes, the glory will not go to you. It will not be chalked up to chance, luck, or effort. It will be clear to all, God did it. And in that moment, your pain of being doubted will turn into the joy of being vindicated. Those who didn't believe will have to confess what they see, and the testimony will echo beyond your household. It will ripple into the lives of others who need to be reminded that God still does the impossible. So hold firm. You may not be believed right now, but you are still chosen. You may not be supported right now, but you are still anointed. And soon, the same family that doubts you today will stand in awe tomorrow. Not because of who you are, but because of what God has done through you. Chosen one. When God begins to prepare something for you, it rarely looks the way people expect. In fact, it rarely looks the way you expect. Heaven's preparation is invisible at first, silent in its process, and often hidden from the eyes of those who would doubt or interfere. While you go through ordinary days, God is weaving extraordinary details behind the veil. While you face setbacks and confusion, heaven is positioning pieces of a plan you cannot yet see. This is why so many around you, even family, can't comprehend what is coming. They look at your life through the lens of what has already happened. They remember your failures. They recall your delays. They judge your present by the evidence of the past. But God is preparing a reality that breaks every expectation, a chapter that no human eye has yet imagined. Think of David. When the prophet Samuel came to anoint a king, Jesse, David's father, didn't even call him in from the field. To his family, David was just the boy who watched sheep. But in heaven's preparation, he was already a king. The oil would not flow on anyone else. The moment was not for the strong or the obvious choice. It was for the overlooked. That's what divine preparation looks like. It crowns the one no one expected. And so it is with you. You've been underestimated. You've been ignored. You've been told in subtle and not so subtle ways that greatness could not come from your life. But heaven never consulted their opinion. The preparation happening now is proof that you were chosen long before their doubts. God is shaping a table for you, and even if they didn't invite you, He will seat you in the place He reserved. Preparation also comes through seasons that feel like delay. Every not yet, every closed door, every time you thought, maybe I missed it. All of it was part of the divine setup. If the blessing had come earlier, you wouldn't have been ready to carry it. Your spirit needed strength. Your heart needed healing. Your character needed refining. Heaven doesn't just prepare the blessing for the person. Heaven also prepares the person for the blessing. And you have been through that process. This is why the shift will shock those closest to you. They saw you waiting. They saw you battling. They saw you in your most vulnerable seasons. But they didn't see what was happening behind the curtain of heaven. They didn't see angels aligning opportunities. They didn't see prayers turning into instruction. They didn't see your name being spoken in rooms you've never stepped into yet. They didn't see the oil being poured in the secret place. And here is the beauty. When it finally manifests, it will be so precise, so tailored, that it will be undeniable. You won't have to say, "See, I told you." The evidence will stand on its own. The very people who doubted will realize this was not random. It was not luck. It was not coincidence. It was heaven's preparation revealing itself at the appointed time. Chosen one, heaven prepares what no one expects because God delights in overturning human logic. If it had been obvious, they would have given the credit to effort, chance, or human connections. But when it's impossible, when it's unexpected, when it comes through the one nobody thought of, then all the glory belongs to Him. So don't be discouraged when others can't see it yet. They are not meant to. If they could see it now, it wouldn't be a surprise testimony. Trust the unseen process. Trust the silent preparation. Because heaven has been working long before you even realized it. And soon, when the preparation becomes manifestation, not only will your family be astonished, the entire atmosphere around you will change. And all will have to confess, this was not man, this was God. Chosen one of the heaviest burdens you've had to carry is the pain of being misunderstood. It's one thing to be ignored by strangers, but it's another thing entirely when your own family, your own friends, the very people you thought would support you, cannot see what God is doing in your life. And that pain runs deep, doesn't it? Because you long for those closest to you to understand, to believe in you, to stand with you. Yet often they don't. This is the reality of the chosen. The call God has placed on your life is too unusual, too uncommon to be easily understood. It doesn't fit into the categories of human logic. To your family, it may look like you're just dreaming too big. To your friends, it may seem like you're chasing illusions. To those who think they know you best, it may even sound foolish. They don't see the hand of God shaping you. They only see the external circumstances that seem unchanged. And the hardest part is this. When you are in the middle of the process, there is little you can point to as evidence. You feel the promise burning in your spirit, but there's nothing yet in your hands to prove it. And that's where the misunderstanding cuts the deepest. They think they are being realistic, while you know you are holding on to a reality that has not yet appeared. Think of Joseph again. When he told his dreams to his brothers, dreams of them bowing before him, they laughed, they mocked, they grew jealous. Even his father struggled to understand. To them, Joseph's words sounded arrogant, absurd, out of touch. But Joseph wasn't lying. He was carrying a vision too big for their natural minds to grasp. And until that vision manifested, he had to endure the pain of being misunderstood. This is what you are living now. The dreams God planted in you are real. The fire you feel in your spirit is not your imagination. But because it doesn't make sense yet in the natural, you are treated as if you're exaggerating, delusional or unrealistic. And that hurts. But hear this truth. Misunderstanding is not a sign you are wrong. It's a sign you are walking in a reality bigger than what human eyes can see. God allows this pain for a reason. It forces you to anchor your faith in Him alone, not in validation from others. It teaches you to walk by conviction, not by applause. It trains you to keep moving forward even when the crowd isn't cheering. And in the end, when the promise manifests, the very people who misunderstood you will be the ones to witness the testimony. And here's the beauty. When that day comes, you won't even need to defend yourself. You won't have to revisit old arguments or remind them of what they said. Your life will speak for itself. The evidence of God's hand on you will silence every doubt. Just as Joseph's brothers eventually bowed before him, not because he demanded it, but because his position was undeniable. Those who misunderstand you now will one day recognize what God has done through you. So, chosen one, don't let the pain of being misunderstood poison your heart. Don't carry bitterness toward those who cannot see. They are not your enemy. Their vision is simply too limited to grasp what heaven has already decided. Pray for them, love them, but keep moving forward, because your calling is not up for debate. Your promise is not dependent on their agreement. Yes, being misunderstood hurts. Yes, it is lonely, but it is also holy. It is the proof that you are carrying something too big for this moment, something too divine to be explained until it is revealed. And when it is revealed, the misunderstanding will vanish in the light of undeniable evidence. Hold on to this. The same family who doubts you now will one day testify on your behalf. The same friends who mocked will stand in awe. The same people who dismissed you will have to confess God was with you. Until then, endure the pain with faith, because every tear shed in the silence of being misunderstood will be turned into joy when the promise manifests for all to see. Chosen one, before the promise becomes fully visible, before the miracle breaks through for all to see, heaven always releases signs. These signs are not random. They are not coincidences. They are whispers of what is about to come. Subtle confirmations that the spiritual has already shifted and the natural is only catching up. If you are sensitive, you will notice them. And if you notice them, you will know. The manifestation has already begun. The first sign is a shift in atmosphere. You begin to feel restless, as if you no longer fit in the old places. Conversations that once excited you now feel empty. Environments that used to feel comfortable suddenly feel heavy. This inner dislocation is not confusion. It is proof that you are no longer who you used to be. The new season has already started to pull on your spirit. The second sign is repeated confirmations. Numbers appear again and again. Certain words seem to echo everywhere you go. You dream of the same theme more than once. Even strangers begin to say things that align perfectly with what God whispered to you in prayer. Heaven is speaking through patterns, making sure you don't miss the message. The promise is at the door. The third sign is movement in places that felt dead. That opportunity you thought was gone suddenly resurfaces. That door you thought was permanently shut creaks open. That relationship or connection you assumed was lost unexpectedly comes back around. What looked buried begins to breathe again. These are not random revivals. They are the evidence that manifestation is stirring. Another undeniable sign is the reaction of people around you. Some will be drawn to you without explanation, sensing something different. Others will begin to distance themselves, even without conflict. Both are signs. The right people are being magnetized into your orbit, and the wrong people are being gently or abruptly removed. Heaven is making space. And then there are the physical signs. Your body itself begins to react. Sudden chills when you pray, unexplainable tears that flow when you worship, energy surges that come out of nowhere, or exhaustion that pushes you into rest. These are not random sensations. Your body is the temple, and temples tremble when the presence fills them. But perhaps the clearest sign of all is the deep knowing in your spirit, that inner conviction that something has already shifted, even if your eyes don't see it yet. It's the peace that doesn't make sense, the unshakable assurance that you are standing in a new reality. Others may call it intuition, but you know it is more than that. It is heaven telling your spirit it's happening. Be ready. Here's the danger. Many dismiss these signs as nothing. They brush off the repeated numbers, They ignore the dreams, they explain away the shifts in their atmosphere, and by doing so, they miss the encouragement God is giving them along the way. Don't make that mistake. Honor the signs. Recognize them. Thank God for them. Because when you do, you align yourself more deeply with the manifestation itself. Remember Elijah on Mount Carmel. He prayed for rain, and his servant reported only a small cloud the size of a man's hand. Many would have laughed at that, but Elijah knew. That tiny cloud was the first sign of a downpour. And because he recognized it, he prepared himself. And soon, the skies opened. Chosen one, the first signs of manifestation are around you even now. They may look small, but they are not small at all. They are heaven's announcement that the waiting season is ending and the fulfillment is beginning. Pay attention. Stay sensitive. Because if you can recognize the cloud, you will be ready for the rain. And soon, very soon, your family and everyone around you will see the evidence that you already feel stirring within you. They won't be able to deny it. The signs are not just signs anymore. They are the beginning of the miracle itself. Chosen one, there is coming a moment where you won't have to explain yourself anymore. You won't have to defend your faith, repeat your dreams, or try to convince anyone that you really heard from God, because your life itself will become the proof. What is coming will be so undeniable, so tangible, that no one, not even your family, will be able to argue with it. This is what it means to be living proof. God is not only answering your prayers, He is turning you into the testimony. The miracle won't just happen around you. It will happen in you, through you, and upon you. Your story will be the message. Your transformation will be the evidence. Your existence will shout louder than your words ever could. God did it. Think of Abraham. For years, he carried the promise of a son, and people probably questioned his faith. To many, it must have seemed ridiculous. But when Isaac was born, Abraham no longer had to debate or explain. He simply held his child in his arms, and the promise spoke for itself. Isaac was living proof. In the same way, what God is birthing in your life will become undeniable evidence. Living proof means that your blessings will carry a prophetic weight. Others will see what God has done for you and realize He can do it for them too. Your breakthrough will be a spark that ignites faith in those who had stopped believing. That's why the attack against you has been so intense, because the enemy knows that once your promise is visible, it will not only transform you, but it will inspire countless others. But let's be honest, being living proof comes with responsibility. It means your life will be watched more closely. Some will admire it, some will envy it, some will even resist it. But none of that matters, because your proof won't come from you. It will come from God. The evidence will be too strong to deny. Even those who mocked will be forced to confess that heaven's hand is on you. And here's what you must remember. This proof will not be subtle. It will not be hidden in the shadows. God intends to make an open display of His faithfulness in your life. That's why He waited until now. That's why it took so long. Because when He does it, there will be no other explanation. People won't be able to say, "Oh, it was luck," or "it was connections," or "it was hard work." They will only be able to say, "This was God." Living proof also means your life becomes a signpost for others. When people see what God has done in you, it will point them back to Him. You will be the reminder that miracles still happen, that prayers are still answered, that promises are still fulfilled. Your story will become someone else's courage to keep believing. Chosen one, this is why your process has been so long, why your trials have been so heavy. Because what God is preparing to release through you is not ordinary. It is not just for your comfort. It is a testimony designed to ripple outward. And once it manifests, it cannot be silenced. So, stand firm. Don't give up now. The very areas of your life that were ridiculed are about to shine. The very places where people said, "Nothing good will come," are about to overflow with evidence. And when that happens, you won't have to say a word. Your life itself will declare it. God did it, and He is faithful. Living proof. That's what you're becoming, not just a receiver of blessing, but the evidence of divine power walking on earth. And soon, everyone around you will see it with their own eyes. Chosen one. When God moves in your life, it is never only about you. His blessings may begin with you, but they never end with you. The breakthrough He is preparing will spill over into every part of your world. Your family, your friends, even those who doubted you. They will all be touched by the overflow. The miracle God is releasing will have a ripple effect, and those ripples will not stop until lives around you are transformed. Look at Joseph again. His elevation to the palace was not just for his personal vindication. It was so that his entire family, even the ones who had betrayed him, could be preserved in famine. The proof that God was with him became a source of survival for others. That is the pattern of divine impact. What looks personal in the beginning is always collective in the end. God blesses you so that through you, others can taste His goodness. And this is what will astonish your family most. They doubted your dreams. They questioned your faith. They underestimated your calling. Yet when your promise manifests, they won't just see it. They will benefit from it. The very ones who didn't believe will find themselves eating from the harvest you carried. And in that moment, their disbelief will be silenced by the evidence of provision. The impact will also awaken faith in the hearts of others. There are people in your family who have grown cold in their relationship with God. Some stopped believing years ago because of disappointment or delay. But when they see what God does in you, something inside them will reignite. They will remember that miracles are still real. Your testimony will be the key that unlocks their hope again. You will become the living sermon they could never ignore. This impact is not limited to your family. It will spread outward. Friends will notice the change. Co-workers will ask questions. Even strangers will sense the difference in your presence. When God touches your life so profoundly, it alters the atmosphere around you. People may not understand it, but they will feel it. They will be drawn to you, not because of who you are, but because of the presence you carry. But here's the part you must hold on to. Impact comes with responsibility. You are not being elevated just for comfort. You are being positioned for influence. God is entrusting you with evidence that others will look at, study, and even model. How you carry the blessing will determine how far its impact reaches. If you carry it with humility, it will inspire multitudes. If you carry it with arrogance, the testimony will be distorted. That is why your preparation was so intense, because your life is not just about you anymore. And yes, this impact will expose you. Some will celebrate you, others may envy you. Some will finally recognize what they once ignored, while others may resist because your transformation confronts their own unbelief. But no matter how they respond, they won't be able to deny what has happened. The change will be too visible. The proof will be too strong. Chosen one, understand this. The blessing that is arriving is bigger than you. It is designed to shift generations, to alter family lines, to open doors for those who come after you. What God is placing in your hands will not stop with your story. It will become a legacy. Long after today, the impact will still be speaking. So when your family struggles to believe, when others question, when some misunderstand, remember this: it's not just your life on the line. It's the lives of everyone your testimony will touch. And because of that, the miracle cannot fail. Heaven is not only writing your story, it is writing theirs through you. This is why the impact must reach everyone, because God didn't choose you simply to show you His faithfulness. He chose you to demonstrate His faithfulness to all who watch, all who doubt, all who hunger for hope. And soon, when the manifestation comes, no one around you will escape the evidence. They may resist it, but they cannot deny it. They may not understand it, but they cannot ignore it. And in that moment, you will realize it was never only about you. You were chosen as the vessel, but the blessing was always meant to flood far beyond you. Chosen one, this is the moment we have been building toward. Not the waiting, not the hoping, not the longing, but the fulfillment. The declaration from heaven is not, "I will do it someday." The declaration is, "I already did it." The breakthrough you have been praying for is not a distant promise. It is a finished work in the unseen, now moving into the seen. The testimony is not being written in the future tense. It is being released in the present. And very soon, the evidence will be so clear that no one, not even your family, not even your fiercest critics, will be able to deny it. Understand this: God is not preparing to act. He has already acted. What you are stepping into now is not the moment He decides, but the moment He reveals. The miracle is not being created in this hour. It was completed long ago. You are simply walking into its unveiling. That's why the resistance has been so heavy. That's why the warfare has intensified. Because the enemy knows, once the evidence appears, once the fulfillment manifests, there will be no taking it back. It will be irreversible. Your life is about to shift from promise to proof, from waiting to walking, from carrying the word to carrying the evidence. And when it happens, your family, the ones who doubted, the ones who laughed, the ones who could not see, will be forced to acknowledge it. They won't have to like it. They won't have to understand it. But they will not be able to deny it. This is why you endured the pain of misunderstanding. This is why you carried the weight of waiting. Because the glory of what's about to be revealed is so great that it demanded a long preparation. And now, the preparation is complete. Heaven is saying, step into it. It's yours. And when it shows up, it will not be subtle. It will not be something people can dismiss as coincidence or luck. It will bear the fingerprints of God so clearly that the only conclusion will be, this was Him. Your transformation will be too visible. Your elevation will be too sharp. The timing will be too perfect. The outcome will be too divine. But here is what you must remember. The blessing is not just for you. Yes, it will heal you, it will restore you, it will vindicate you, but it will also ripple outward. It will impact those around you. It will shift your family line. It will inspire others to believe again. Your testimony is not only the reward of your endurance, it is the spark for someone else's faith. So, chosen one, stand ready, because what God has already finished is about to appear before your very eyes. Walk as though you already carry it, because you do. Speak as though it is already yours, because it is. Move as one who knows the waiting season is over, because it is. And soon, very soon, your life will echo this truth. God already did it, and now all can see. Your family will see, your friends will see, your critics will see. Even you, who sometimes doubted, will look in awe at what is in your hands. And when that moment comes, you will no longer ask, "When, Lord?" Instead, you will whisper with tears in your eyes, "You did it, God. You were faithful, and you never forgot me." This is not a maybe. This is not a possibility. This is the reality you are stepping into now. The chapter of waiting has closed. The chapter of manifestation has begun. Chosen one, lift your head, open your hands, and prepare your heart, because heaven's decree over you in this season is unshakable. It is done. I already did it. And soon, everyone will see.